we've just finished the campaign. What did I think overall? I think it's 1000% way better than it was last season. Absolutely flippin' fantastic. I had probably this time around, I had the best time going through the campaign. And keep in mind, this was my first playthrough on a solo self-found in this game. I decided to go solo, well, not decided to go to solo self-found myself, but we reached the followers goal, so I had to, right? I had to go solo self-found because that was the challenge. And let me tell you, I was expecting to suffer. I was expecting to, like, because again, in my head, I had like memories and experiences from 0.2 and how horrible progression and leveling, especially on the league start, was at the time. Now, oh my god. Oh my god, is it a absolute, I wouldn't say a breeze because it's still long as shit, but like, it's such a better experience. It feels so much better, and I'm not even like playing, I'm playing a meme build. I'm not playing anything meta. I'm not playing anything crazy. I'm trying out fucking a hybrid hybrid build where I'm using poison and bleed together because of this new support. I'm using spear field and spear throw as my main abilities, so it's a bit of a meme build. Nothing. I'm not doing Deadeye. I'm on a Pathfinder. I'm not doing Deadeye. I'm not doing Lightning Arrow. I'm not doing Lightning Spear. I'm not doing any of that. I am figuring out poison slash bleed slash fizz type build. And I had zero struggle. There was no walls that we hit. There was no issues with survivability or damage at any point in the game, apart from the fucking jungle monkey, man. When I got to the monkey too early, and I just said, you know what, I'm beating that monkey no matter what, and it took me 45 minutes and over 25 tries to beat that fucking monkey. But we did beat him at the end. I did not move on from the monkey. I did not go level up and come back to the monkey. No, I went full on Dark Souls on the fucking monkey. I was dying, coming back, dying, trying again, dying, trying again. But regardless, that was the only part in the entire of it took us 40 hours in the campaign due to certain issues. Nothing to do with the actual gameplay or build being bad or whatever it is. It was that there were other issues that I'm not going to talk about right now, because it doesn't matter to the topic at hand. But other than that point in the third act, where I had to fight a monkey, I had zero issues. Act 4, absolute masterpiece of content. Absolutely flippin' amazing piece of content. It's as good, if not better, than Act 1. I would say it's a little even, like it beats Act 1 for me, even because it has all these different locations, and it's not really linear. You can go anywhere you want at any point. And when you get to a location, the zones are really not that big. So you clearing out the entire location like in 30-40 minutes if your build is good enough and you're doing enough damage. And each location has like 1 or 2 zones, and that is it. Maybe 3 sometimes, but that's like not all of them. And you kind of just like jumping from one island to the next, and you clearing them out pretty quickly. Like, I think Act 4 was because again it was new content, new bosses, new everything else. So like it's we tried to like, you know, go through the lore. We were listening and reading every dialogue, and obviously dealing with the new bosses and the new mechanics. Like we had to figure it out, and then we missed certain quests, so we had to come back and figure out how to finish those quests. So the act took a little bit of time. It was just as long as Act 3, I think, on the first playthrough. And keep in mind, Act 3, I know what to do and where to go, and it was adjusted already in 0.2 in terms of the length of certain areas in Act 3. And Act 4, with the brand new game playthrough, that act took just as long. So if I'm gonna play through that act again, it'll probably take half that time, because I'm not gonna exploring anything, because I know where everything is. I know where the quests are. I know what bosses do. It's just gonna be a breeze. And because of the way it's structured, the navigation is really simple. It's really easy, and every location is different and beautiful. I mean, environmental design and environmental designer team of GGG, they need to get a raise. They're fucking incredible. They're such good designers. Every single location that is in Act 4 is breathtaking. I could not believe it. And it's all so different, and it has all these different like unique traits to those zones. Like, for example, solitary confinement area in the prison. Absolutely genius idea to have the water tides come in because of the location that it's in. It's such a smart world building. Or when you running in that town location, the new city location where you beat that earthbender guy at the end. Like, while you're running from the city, through the city, from the city to that kind of quarry location, that whole coastal view that you get while you're running from the city to the quarry, it's such a beautiful imagery in that fucking act, man. In that zone, it's so good. And same goes for every single other location. They're just all stunning, beautiful. The fucking Whakapanu Island, gorgeous, absolutely amazing. So, in terms of design, the pace, the narrative of Act 4, I think it's fantastic. And why I said it beats Act 1 for me in terms of how it's done is because it has all those different locations, so you're not being fatigued, right, visually. Because some locations in Act 1, especially the mansion, like, it just carries on for too long, or like there's some other, like the mausoleum, the cemetery, like that. Those locations, again, they just like drag on for too long. You get fatigued a little bit. But Act 1 is still one of the best acts, one of the better acts out of all of them. But Act 4 is now my favorite. And also, it feels better in Act 4 because your characters, or like your build is coming online already. Like, you feel powerful enough. You're probably using the skills that you want to use already. So your build is like coming together. You're powerful enough to like go through it and just enjoy the gameplay and enjoy the game as a whole. And in Act 1, you don't yet get that because you're still struggling. You're just starting out. You're kind of slogging through the mobs. You're slogging through the fights, through the bosses, because you don't have a weapon. You don't have like enough supports. You don't have a powerful skill, maybe. You know what I mean? So Act 1, it feels more difficult, I guess. There's more growing pains in Act 1 for the character. In Act 4, you just like, okay, you going through it. In my experience anyway, you kind of just like plowing through it. You just enjoying the locations. You're not worried about dying all the time or not doing enough damage. Like on my build, even though it's a meme build, I had 0 problems. I've maybe died to maybe 2 bosses out of the entire act. But again, because new bosses, we don't know their mechanics, so they just, sometimes take you by surprise. It's what it is. It's just gonna happen. Now, moving on to interludes. I don't know. I feel like they're okay. I feel like they're interesting enough. I like the idea of putting together certain bosses as like a challenging fight for the player. That's an interesting idea. I like the idea that like they're reusing bosses from earlier in the campaign and they sort of but they're like giving them something new, right? Like if it's a monkey, now it's a brand new monkey, but it's like a cold version of that monkey. It does cold damage, it does cold slams, it does like cold skills and shit like that. So I enjoyed that. I enjoyed seeing these new boss mechanics of the same fights. That was interesting to me. What I did not like are the way the quests are laid out, especially the question mark quests, where the game doesn't really tell you. First of all, they don't pop up on your quest log, which is weird. Like, why wouldn't they? If they're already on the minimap or on your whatever. What the fuck is going on with my game? What is going on with my game? Huh? Huh? Bruh. What was that? What the fuck was that? So if I go to Interludes, like right now, I have this question mark. It says follow the wisps. I ran this location like 4 times. I reset it 4 times, ran it from top to bottom 4 times. There was not a single wisp. Not a single wisp was spawned. Was spawned, I guess, in this location in 4 runs. So I don't understand what this means. And there are certain other things like that. Like, so this one, again, took me like a little bit to figure out, okay, maybe there is an actual like a location in this area that I need to go to find whatever this molten shrine is. And here as well, like Elder Maddox. What does that mean? What does that mean? You know what I mean? I found him by kind of by way of just exploration. But my point is, why not tell us what to do? Like, why not be clear on this, on these quests? Like, there's no point. Like, this is kind of like you artificially, and I'm talking directly to GGG right now. You artificially just stretching the time of the campaign for no reason. Because once we figure this out, and we've played through this once, and we cleared all the quests once, next time we'll just know what to do anyway. And in the campaign that already goes from 20 to 30 to in some cases 40 hours, and it's a, let's say, 30-hour campaign, and you making it long, artificially longer through all these little, like, unimportant things. They're like, if it's a quest, tell me what the quest is. Like, I've actually, like, this quest got me upset because it's called Navali's Rest. It says it's in Eye of Hinekora, and all it says is Navali offers wisdom to those who seek it. To me, because I went through this location and I cleared all of this, the entire island, and then this quest was still lingering, right? It was still lingering, and I'm an explorer, I guess an explorer type of gamer, right? Player. I always explore as much as I can, especially on the first playthrough. Which means, on the first playthrough, even though I explore most things, I did not find the location I need to go to. So to me, like, okay, I've cleared out the entire island, and then I went back to town, I opened the map, and this shit was still highlighted. And all it said before I finished it was the top 3 lines. So to me, what that meant was, okay, maybe I need to go back to the Eye of Hinekora and go back to that first first room where you meet Navali, and you just need to talk to her, and kind of that will finish the quest for you. You go to that room after finishing the entire location, and she's not even targetable. Like, you cannot even talk to her. And guess what? I then explored this area again. I went through all the challenge rooms and everything else again. Didn't find what I was looking for. Again. So after spending, like, and that was what, like, that was after I finished the interludes and everything else. I kind of went back and looked at what I've missed, and this was missing, right? So it wasn't right after I finished the location. I didn't even notice it. I noticed it after I finished the entire campaign. So I went back, finished this area again, and then still couldn't understand what I needed to do, because to me, all this means is, okay, you maybe need to finish all of this location, then go back to her and talk to her, and then she'll give you a permanent reward. But again, as I said, you go back to her, she's not even, like, you can't even talk to her. She's not an active NPC in that location. So I needed to Google, how do you finish Navali's Rest? If the quest makes me Google how to finish it, it's not a well-structured quest. I don't know, I would not like to consider myself the dumbest person in the world. Like, you know, I would like to say that I'm not the stupidest. Like, I can figure out how to finish quests most of the time. I have never had this, by the way, I've never had this issue in PoE 1, even if when I played it for the first time. Not ever. Not ever. Because one, you see every quest in the act in the bottom of the map when you open it, and it's all logged in. And you can hover over it and it tells you, okay, you need to either kill this guy or go to this location or find this or blah, blah, blah. So just, I'm not saying, okay, tell us exactly how to finish the quest. Like, obviously, that's stupid. But, like, give us directions, right? In the campaign that's already so long, help us a little bit. Help us a little bit. Like, this, I at least understand. Okay, it says follow the wisps, so I know I need to look for the wisps in that location. Here, Molten Shrine, the Molten One stands with humanity. Again, not really clear, but through the name of the quest, I understand that, okay, I probably need to find a shrine. So I know what I'm looking for. Here, you have no idea what you're looking for other than it has to do with Navali. So that's kind of like my issue with the way quests are done. And that's the only gripe that I have. Like, just to make things like that less convoluted. Right? We're already spending 30-40 hours going through the campaign. Just, there's no need for this. We're not playing a Dark Souls game. We're not playing fucking Elden Ring, right? Just make this process simpler. You know? Because, again, I wouldn't mind if it was like a quest. Fine, but it's kind of gatekeeping the permanent award behind it. So I have to finish it in order to get this permanent buff for the character. And when it's absolutely just like vague and hard to understand where how to finish it, it gets a little frustrating. That's all I'm saying. But in the interludes, again, no real issues. I don't know if I like the pacing in the second one. Again, I think the Kari Crossing is entirely just too big as a location, and it doesn't have a single waypoint. That kind of again didn't make sense to me. Like, why wouldn't this location have a such a massive location wouldn't have a waypoint? Just did not make sense to me. But the rest, you know, first playthrough, couple hours each is okay. That's probably how it went for us. 2 to 3 hours each interlude, because again, we're going through it, we're figuring things out, and sometimes going back and forth in terms of the questing. Like, sometimes I miss a thing here and I go back to it after we finish the entire quest. But again, zero problems with any of the bosses or any of the encounters, which kind of a segue into the difficulty, I guess, because once I got to Act 4, the difficulty kind of spiked around the middle of Act 3, and then everything afterwards in terms of difficulty just started slowly. Like, my power, my character power started going up, and the difficulty of the campaign started going down, obviously. So they're like corresponding little graphs, because the characters started getting more and more and more powerful, which means I started caring less and less about bosses and mechanics and incoming damage or whatever. Because again, in the entirety of Act 4, I only died one time to I guess Benedictus is his name? Yeah, to Benedictus, because it is a weird mechanic that you don't understand at first, and then once you understand it, it's fine. And then the actual act boss, Tawakai. Again. But actually, in this case, he was pretty easy to understand. He just like caught me off guard one time. He cornered me, and there was just too much going on the screen and on the on the floor and everything else, and I couldn't move, and he just like shotgunned me. But the rest of the bosses, not difficult at all. That's not to say they're bad boss fights. They're beautifully crafted, well articulated, well telegraphed, interesting fights. Every single one of them. I love the fight in the prison. I love the lady fight at the Whakapanu Island. I absolutely loved the monkey fight in the Hinekora. They're all great. Like, boss fights are amazing. In the interludes, boss fights, especially last, I really like the fact that the last boss of the first interlude is Thane and Lady Elswith. Like, they're worked versions of Act 1 bosses together at the same time. Like, and it's not like necrotic version of them, for the lack of a better term, but like blood and fire versions of them, which was cool. Like, so that they're using similar abilities, but it's now blood-based magic and fire-based magic. So that's cool. The ideas in the interludes are amazing. Again, flipping the bosses that we had previously and making them a new interaction, a new version of what it was. Because if they were just like the same bosses again, just stronger, that would have been boring. But the way it was done here, I absolutely loved it. I think interludes are fine, especially because it's a temporary solution until we get Act 5 and 4, Act 5 and 6. It's perfect. It's perfect. Like 3 acts. Again, on the next playthrough, they'll probably, I don't know, take like hour and a half each, because now we know what to do and where to go. So it's actually better than having cruel, like 3 cruel acts. You know what I mean? And the main reason why it feels great in 0.3 to go through the campaign is crafting and Abyss. So again, with the introduction of Abyss and Veiled mods and Abyss interactions, absolutely changed the game. So this is my first time playing solo self-found. I think if I was doing solo self-found in 0.2, I would have killed myself. But now I think I want to continue doing solo self-found even on my next character, because it just feels so good. Because now we have currency tiers, which make crafting better and more deterministic. We have, again, abyss modifiers or abyss veil orbs and shit. Again, more determinism. We get to have more control over what we're trying to achieve. It's what else? Drops, I think, are way better now. Way more balanced. Like, you get more loot, and more loot that you would actually need. Not just random shit all the time. And I think the drop rate of rares is improved, so you get more access to regals through that. So them buffing the rare drops unironically made it better for crafting, because now I'm regaling things all the time throughout the campaign. All the time. Again, I have not had an issue with my weapons a single time, because I managed to craft at every milestone, and it's great. Like, this spear was crafted at level 50, 51 from scratch. This was a white base that went through the crafting process, including the abyss, which ironically gave me the most useless mod on the weapon. But regardless, everything else was just, augmenting, slamming, exalting, chaosing, whatever. Right? The crafting is so much better, and I cannot stress this enough. It is night and day with what it used to be. Solo Self-Found actually feels fun now. It actually feels fun. The only problem, like a real problem that needs to be fixed, is access to runes early on, especially in the first 3 acts. Like, the drops of elemental runes are non-existent. I could not, like, I think the entirety of Act 3, I haven't dropped a single elemental resistance rune. Not a single one. So I had to finish my Act 3 with, like, my resistance was, I don't know, fire was somewhere in the 50s, lightning was below 30, cold was 14 or something. That was the end of Act 3. Because I just could not. I had sockets on my gear, but I did not have any runes to put in there. So that's the only gripe I have with the leveling, is make the rune drop better. If that's fixed, because there's no other ways, especially on Solo Self-Found, of getting runes. At least if you're playing trade, you can buy them. On Solo Self-Found, there's no, like, I cannot craft runes. You know what I mean? Like, I cannot, I can salvage into a higher tier, but I cannot craft them. They're only dropping. So if the elemental rune drop chance can be elevated, especially early on, especially in, like, Act 1 and 2, it'll be the perfect leveling experience. That's what I have to say about 0.3, the new campaign additions, new acts, interlude acts, bosses, crafting. Abyss feels great from the beginning. I know there are issues that people are having in the maps in the end game, but again, during the campaign, you don't really run into these crazy, overpowered, populated abyss encounters, so it feels okay. It feels balanced enough in the campaign where, again, if your build is good enough, you'll be able to deal with it. Yes, we died to abyss once or twice. That happened because, again, you can never predict these things. But overall, 99% of my encounters went well. I started interacting with abyss from the get-go, from the very first area it appeared in the forest, I believe, in Act 1, and I have not missed a single one. I've not missed a single one. Even if it kills me, I do not miss it. You know what I mean? I go in, I try, most of the time I succeed. And it's rewarding as shit, it's great for experience, and it kind of lets you test the build as well, in terms of, okay, because it has a lot of mobs, so you testing both your clear, and it has rares that are pretty fucking beefy sometimes, so you get to test your single target as well at the same time. And if you are struggling with clearing the abyss, chances are you need to get some upgrades for your build. That's how I look at it. So every time I would interact with an abyss, it would be an indication of my build. Like, do I need to get some upgrades? Do I need to farm more? Do I need to maybe get a better weapon? Like, how we're looking. And most of the time, there's no issues. Most of the time, the issues come from running into like a stupid combination of mods on the rare. That's all. Yeah, so that's it. I think 0.3, I don't know, 8.5 out of 10 so far. I've not touched the end game yet. We're just getting into mapping today. So yeah, this is where we at right now. This is my initial thoughts after finishing the campaign. Literally, we just done it, so it's fresh in my mind. I wanted to talk about it. Here we go. I highly recommend PoE 2 right now. If you haven't played it yet, now is a good time to do so. Stay wild, cuzzy wuzzies. I'll see you on the next one.